It is Lord Haywire. I am working on my 2D 4X game here today. I was actually going to start streaming like a half hour earlier, and then I had all these fucking computer issues. It's weird. So I'm actually streaming right about noon, which is the normal time I stream unless I don't want to, or I'm taking a nap or something. Uh, Last time we left in the middle of bugs, which I generally don't like to do, but I had to go to the bathroom really bad, and so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm done." I'd already been streaming for like 3.5 hours. I usually stream for 3 hours on this channel, on both channels. I have another channel that for video games where I stream the actual video games, not ones I made, but this is just me fumbling around trying to uh, teach myself Unity. It's been going on for many hours. We're in episode, I guess it's an episode. We're on episode 63, so let's see. It's like 189 hours of it's like 4 days. 40. Is that right? 4 days at 40. No, 4 weeks. 4 weeks. 40, almost 5 weeks, almost a month of work if I was doing this full time, which I usually only work on this on the weekends. So it's been like 6 months or something. I could probably look at the first time I uploaded, even though the uploads are different because I moved them. It doesn't matter. So this is all fucked up right now, which is that's fine. It's being fucked up is what we left it at. It's not like we're surprised. It's not a surprise fuck up. It's just how it is, and we're gonna fix it, and we're gonna rewrite a ton of shit here. So that I think what we were leaving off as is, um, let's hit play. Will it let us hit play? It will let us hit play even with these bugs here. I think these bugs are there because I hit play earlier before I started. This is mushed down here. Let's maximize this. Yeah, I had all sorts of issues this morning. We're gonna make this. See, this isn't working. This is the we're rewriting how this works so that, and I guess maximizing this wasn't the best idea. So that each county, I moved this thing around too. Well, I moved it around last time, but it didn't stick. So each county is now going to have in its list here possible buildings and current buildings, and it's actually working. And they're going to move between on this list so that in the inspector we don't have to dig around to try to find like the list that's holding this shit. What's happening right now is that these aren't populating correctly. Something busted when we started fucking around with this one. And when I say we, I mean me. I always say we because I sometimes chat helps me. So these are just, I think these are just saying that like certain things are not dragged and dropped because I renamed them or something. What is this thing saying? We'll fix these real quick, then we'll get into the actual scripting. Player UI, oh yeah, UI player UI, one of my favorite names here. Hero info panel set active. I think this is UI player UI is right here. Hero info panel is here. Was this what we were dealing with? On enable. Oh, we UI county info panel. These are all here. What's your problem? County info panel. Oh, I know what's going on here. This just needs to be turned off. This is a thing that I wanted to fix at some point. It's in our list. It basically gives errors when the game starts, if that's open. It's not supposed to be open when it starts. Man, there was some lag. I've been having some computer issues lately. I know I always bitch and moan about that, but it's worse than it normally is. Okay, there's some real bugs. Let's go to the console here, or a real bug. On enable, this is what we're writing right now is the panel refresher is this thing, and we want an instance of this, which is why this is here instead of the way we did it before. This is the end of the bullshit. This is just left here. Okay, so this is just crap from before. We're doing it differently now, and we'll get rid of this when we have figured out, because it just was throwing too many bugs, and we needed. Oh, you know what we also have to do? We needed to be able to compile it. So I just put that stuff back in temporarily so it wouldn't throw bugs. So we could. This is actually I streamed last week, and I'm pretty sure, but we skipped a version. I don't know what happened. So we updated that, And what was its problem? Object not set to a reference. Okay, so where is this UI possible buildings? I think each, now where did we put this? We're gonna have to, UI panel refresher, what are we clicked on right now? Okay, so this is here. And what does this want? This is UI possible buildings panel. UI possible buildings panel, which is probably, we kind of rearranged, we did. Building prefab is empty. Does it need that? Well, it needs something, so we'll put that in there. Fuck you. Sorry. We have 2 of these. I think we should just, I thought I had some issues. Maybe we lost it. What does our thing say? I had some crazy issue and I had to delete the library folder. I thought we had a prefab called building. I thought that's what we changed it to. My memory is terrible, but I'm pretty sure it was just called UI building, but maybe not. Maybe we were editing one of these. I'm still getting used to this project being down here. Completed text, because they're just gonna be the same now. I swear we did this. I'm just gonna rename this one to building. UI building. Should we call it UI building or UI buildings? UI building. All right, let's see, and then we'll get rid of this one. I have my old shit over here somewhere, wrong spot, but we'll get there. Current building. Those are all scripts. I guess, does a prefab come across as a script? Let's see. Oh, we already have it. UI current buildings, prefab, skip. Yeah, we already had it here. I'm betting that something bad happened with that lot. So there's this error about there's this error, and I pushed the code last night, or at the end of, after I stopped last stream. We're gonna delete this one. We're getting kind of crazy. I like to keep my code without old shit in it. I just get it out of there. Get it the fuck out of there. So what the fuck were we just doing? This thing. UI building. Current, this should be the same thing, but we actually don't need that prefab either, but we'll put it in there. Then what the fuck was this thing's problem? This thing, UI possible buildings panel, which is this panel here. This here, it's actually this, once we expand that out, it will be this thing. And UI possible buildings panel. So, oh, and here's the problem. And then buildings parent is also not in here. So that's the, I swear to God we did this. I think that, so this has happened one other time where Unity fucked up and we lost stuff. I'm like, whatever. It doesn't matter right now. We'll fix it. This is the possible building parent, I believe. Oh no, we have that. What's the buildings parent? What are these 2 things? Buildings parent. What are we passing through here? Why is it not? What is going on here? I guess I can't click through. UI buildings panel. We just need to look at what this is because I can't remember what the fuck we're doing with this. Okay, so the buildings parent, the buildings prefab is that. This is... What am I doing here? So on enable... Okay, this is... Aren't these the same? Buildings parent... No, these are not the same. The building's parent is going to be this. Okay, so now it's coming back to me. My memory is coming back to me. Possible building's parent, current building's parent. And is this where we left it off because I wasn't sure? Okay, we were passing this in. So when this thing opens, where the fuck is it? We're passing this in, but it's a serialized. I didn't put private in here. That's weird of me. I always try to keep it consistent and as verbose as possible because I find it easier to read later. Okay, so when this thing expands, we need to know what the building parent is. So there's two possible buildings. Scroll view is all right. I'm glad I named them these ways because now it's kind of making sense. This one isn't. Should be the county buildings parent, and so we're going to pass that in and then we run the refresher, but we need to know what this is and it's currently nothing. So what we're going to do is on enable, we will say the county buildings parent is, this is just a game object? I'm pretty sure it's just a game object. My music is too quiet. Everything's too quiet. I haven't even looked at OBS. Let's make sure I'm making noise. I know you guys can't hear my music. I need something besides the deafening silence. What is your problem here? Is this just bugged out because I put this? All right, so building parent, current county building parent should equal... it says it's a game object right there. It should equal... currently selected count, our world map load. Instance dot currently selected county dot, and then on there's county info. Yep. And we just want the possible one. Get component info. Man, I should have smoked a cigarette before I started. Possible buildings parents. What's your problem? This is a transform. Is that what I did? Well, we need to change that if that's the case. County. Oh, that's not it. This should be a game object. We're going to get this set up how I want it in these things. County info, please. And I want to double check that some music I'm listening to, that I'm actually streaming. I don't do that enough. I need to double check all the time. County info currently has like nothing. Oh, I did do a transform. Let's do a game object because we need the game object over there. Do we need the game object over there? What are we putting through? Let's go back. No, we don't need it to be. We can just do a transform. Where is this? UI buildings panel. UI possible buildings panel. I can type transform in. Then this is putting in a game object, but let's see if we can fix that. I swear to God, you used to be able to click through to these things. What is? Maybe it's because it's not a. It's probably me. UI. It's because this is a instance, I think. Maybe. Um. We're doing the same thing right here, honestly. Why are we putting this parents through if we have this thing right here? So what it's doing is it's supposed to count through and look at all of the children that are in the possible buildings thing. So that's what this is. And we're passing that through, but we're getting this county thing. Well, we're not even using the county thing. The fuck are we doing? Why did we do? Did I get halfway done and then change my mind? If that's the case, we actually can get this. The building's parent is, we can do this. And actually, we don't need the scroll view either, because the building's scroll view doesn't ever change. We could just do currently select. We can do it all right here. We don't want this to be county. This is going to be county buildings parent. And we'll just do what we were doing here. Get component. This is UI buildings panel. County info. Then and then this is going to be a transform as well. Whoops. So, like I often say, I cannot believe people can program for 8 hours a day, because I didn't do it for a week, and I came back and noticed I was doing like a major thing wrong because my brain got a rest. So this though is always going to be the same thing. I guess not necessarily. It could be a possible building versus a current building. But I don't think we're going to be able to use private thing. What the fuck you? I do that every time. Privates. Might as well do a transform since that's what we're looking for. Buildings. Scroll view. Shit's redundant is what it's telling us. Okay, then we can go back to this thing and we can just tell it. On enable, refresh this shit. And we don't need this stuff here. We don't need this shit here. We just want an instance of this to do it, because you might... Wait, do we want an instance of this? Or do we... No, we don't want an instance of it. We want the real thing to be firing, because it only can happen once at a time. Is that for real in my brain? Is that working right? Let's think about this. UI buildings panel is, because it seems like I remember talking about instances last time. Look at all these. So that's on here. So if it's a possible building, we need it to appear here. That's private though. It's a serialized field. Why isn't it appearing on there? UI buildings panel. Maybe you can't put a transform. Am I looking at the wrong thing? No, it's right. Oh, maybe it can't compile. That's the issue. It can't compile. I never saved this is the problem. There we go. I think we're gonna have to have two. We're gonna have to have a possible one and a possible one and a current one because we have two of those things. I mean, we could write two different scripts, but it's going to be the same old shit. It's going to be, you know, the duplicate text. So, well, we know we're going to have to do that. So let's just put it in here. We'll call this, we'll rename this one. Possible buildings parent. Yes. And this never changes. This is always going to be the same. And then we are going to need a, well, we'll let it current buildings scroll view. It's what? It's not a game object. It's going to be a transform. And we're just going to have to figure out a way. Maybe we have to pass in a bool or something to say like, yes, this is a possible building. I don't know how we'll do that. We'll think about that in a second. Unnecessary assignment of, it is not well, I guess it is unnecessary. Right now it's unnecessary. But that's fine. And this died again because I renamed it. Where is my current? What are these things? Oh, the scroll bar. Okay, I was like, what? So let's turn this off. So this is going to go down and instantiate. Well, let's just hit play and see what it does. It's probably not going to work because I'm still my brain's still warming up. So if we click this thing and then this thing, okay, so it did. It made 3 of them, which is what we wanted. They're not named anything correctly, but that's okay. So this building prefab. This is why we use this UI game object. What a stupid name. UI building. UI building. Right now we'll do possible buildings and we'll figure out a way that we can distinguish between the two so that it will put out the, see, this one's going to possible building and maybe we'll have it. Maybe we'll have a bool. I don't know. UI building dot, what stuff do we have on here? Let's go back to our prefab list. Or not, it's not a list. It's just this thing. Let's open it up. So we have the building title. in the completed text. The building title, it looks like it's always on. Do we have this thing? Does this know what it is? UI building button. Does this thing know completed text game object? This thing doesn't know what itself is. Look at all this code we're going to be able to get out of here. I'm not even, I was starting to like, maybe we can just pull some code out of here, but I don't want to do it. We also are going to need a public, not static. We're going to need a public text mesh pro. Yes. And this is going to be building name text. I always put text in there so I can tell what the fuck it is later. Then back here, we're going to go to, what was this thing called? I just fucking forgot. I just opened it too. Where the fuck is it? It's this thing. UI building. UI building button. What was it called? It was, I just, current text something. Building name text is going to equal build, okay, these can't be, no, this, yes, so we're gonna go county, get child, I, get component, and I forget what components are on there. We'll put this down here so it's easier to read. Get components, or they don't exist right now because they haven't been created. What was it called? It was called something. We had a prefab for that too. What did we call it though? It's not in the, it would be up here. Faction prefab, hero token. No. Was it this thing? It can't be this thing. Building name text. We need to put in that while I'm here. We need to put in this. Oh, that's a text mesh. No, this is a text mesh pro, motherfucker. Oh, did we use the wrong one? We did. It's called text mesh pro. Give me a, fill this in for me, motherfucker. Text mesh pro. There we go. It's that. It's always that, pretty much. 99% of the time, it's that. And at the beginning, you know, it's crazy. At the beginning, I didn't know why I was doing that, you know, but I was just doing it because that's what tutorials said to do. And it's kind of interesting that, like, how I learn things is it takes, I got to use it a bazillion times and then run into these issues before I can tell, you know, I can use it and understand how it works. I don't know if we need this here either anymore. We'll see, but it's actually should be referencing itself and like it's getting instantiated, and that's the only time we're going to reference this stuff. Oh, I guess that's not true. No, maybe it is true. But we need to find out. So when we hit play, man, the sound keeps cutting out on my music. I know you guys can't hear it. I swear to God, we had another prefab for these things that will appear in possible buildings. How did I just rename it and fuck it all up? It's the same prefab. So like this thing, where is this coming from? Build like this is a prefab. Where did I put it? Oh, oh. It's in resources. Fucking piece of shit. We should probably move all the prefabs in there. Oh, look, they have different. They're all different. But they all have building info on them. And that's what we're looking for. Building info. I should have just been able to tell what that was. What the fuck are we getting? Oh, we're getting their name. Building name. Dot text. Sorry. This is dot text. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why do you put text in here if you're just going to do dot text? It's just because it's easier for me to read this and be like, what is this? Okay, so that should name them all, which we'll test right now. Man, this coffee lately has been very, very hardcore. Look at that. We made it so the button doesn't do anything, though. What about if we close it? Do we get any bugs there? No, but found a bug. That's easy to fix, though. This is, so back to this, we need to go to here. We don't actually need this. We need this. There's just an instance of this. Okay, can I click through now? What is going on? There we go. I was pushing the wrong button this time. We do need an instance of this because there should just only, whoa, there should only be one instance of this ever running. This is going to be public static. Yep. Look at you. All right. So that is working there. So we'll just run this here. I have to burp, and that's why I'm making it sounding like this. Okay. So this is going to refresh that thing. We're going to have to figure out, like I said, to differentiate between... No, we don't. We just have it on the current one. We just have it run this as well, and we just put in different stuff. I don't know. Well, when we get to there. Why the fuck was I going over here, though? Oh, yeah, on disable. It didn't disable. Oh, well, it did on that particular one. Yep, we want it to go, and I have this somewhere. I was hoping I had it right here. Where we just go through and we destroy everything that was there on disable. I'm a little worried though that, so, and I mentioned this many a time where I get excited about a new way to do something, so I change all of my code to the new way of doing something, and in reality it's not the best way, and so I have to go and change like 3/4 of it back. We can just search for destroy. 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 I have it somewhere. In fact, here it is, and it's talking about the same thing. And we'll copy this, and we'll put it wherever the fuck I have this. And we'll rename this to building destroyer. Destroyer. Because I like that name. Possible buildings, colognes, count. Okay, so we were putting. Oh, we're in the wrong spot. Wait, possible UI, possible buildings, panel. On disable, we'll blow it up with this thing. We'll have another thing, and we'll call this the building destroyer. And we will go. This is going to be the possible. Building scroll view is a transform. We want to get the kids, the child count, and destroy. See, this we had. We could just destroy the kids. Kill the babies. We can just copy this. And I think we can just do get child. And then I think this is, yeah, it's like this though. Can we do it this way? I guess we probably have to tell it it's a game object. Oh, it's missing the thing is what its problem was, not. There we go. And then this had a list on it, but we're not actually doing a list. We don't need the list. We just want it to go through all the children and blow them away. Calling destroyer destroy immediate on a transform is not allowed. How about that? That make you happy? That does. Private whatever is unused. That's fine. Unity message on disable is unused. We're actually going to use that right now. We're going to go with this thing. So on when this thing disables, we just destroy all of the buildings that are currently being, well, we'll test it, of course, 100 million times. We're going to test everything 100 million times. Everything must be tested 100 million times. This is a classic bug that I do. I do this all the time. UI buildings panel, actually, let me look at this. This is not, we need this on enable. Yep. This is I do this all the time, and sometimes it takes me like 10 minutes to figure out that was the problem the whole time. You know, the more you have those instances happen, the more you know to fix them. That's like how you can tell in my brain how like the pro versus the. All right, so it's reinstantiating those every time. The button still doesn't work, but that's okay. We'll fix that soon enough. Let's fix the current building thing next. So when the game's running, it should be checking. Did we have a script in here? No, it's just all. Where is this thing? No, wait. I'm looking at the wrong spot. Um, Sorry, good music is playing in my ears. I'm trying to think of the not the simplest way to do it. The Yeah, I mean, I guess it is the simplest. It is the simplest way to do it. Looking at all sorts of wrong things. So like this one, it says UI possible buildings panel. Oh, you know the other thing we wanted to do? With the not this one. We should get rid of this one. This is just going to cause conflict. Look at all this code that we have in here that we're going to get rid of. I'd like to, when that happens. We need this thing. What is this thing? This prefab is this thing. It needs to know which building it's actually talking about. So we need to put in public game object actual building, I think we'll call it. And that won't be applied though until this is public, yeah. Do we need this? I don't think. Let's just get rid of this and see what happens. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. What is this build building button? Oh, building button. No, that it doesn't say build building. It just says building button. Yeah, there's no references to this thing, so let's just get rid of this. We don't need that. So the actual building needs to get a stuck to it right now. So this is the UI. This thing needs to have, what was the fucking thing? Get components, building button, UI building button, actual building should equal county buildings parent. This dot game object. That way we just assign it in there, and then when you click on it, we can pull the information off of this game object because we stored everything on the game object. But that's not what we were actually working on. What the fuck was I just working on when I was like, oh, we were thinking about getting rid of this refresher thing. See, like, here's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier about me getting excited about stuff. I started using all these events, and they're not really that useful to me. I really struggle for when they are useful. I know they must be useful at times, but it's also hard to debug them because they're not connected. And I know that's the whole goal of events is to be like, hey, you decouple the code so that if they're not relying on each other. But then when you're trying to debug, it's like, where's this fucking thing doing what? And all these things events are like, I don't know. It'll eventually click when they're more. It's the same thing with like scriptable objects. I use scriptable objects like a ton on the first time I tried making a game, and it turned out that I just fucked myself long run. And then I took them all away, and I rarely use them because they have very specific uses. And I'm using them in a different game because I can totally see the use for them, but they're not as whatever. They're not as useful as I think. And same with like events. Each thing I come up with, I have issues. I get excited and want to use them a bunch. But what the fuck was I doing here? So this generates all of the. What is this pulling this from though? It's loading them from the folder called buildings. We probably should call that possible buildings, but no, right now, when you start, there no buildings are going to be built. Maybe we'll change that later, but so how do we differentiate? We need to have it check. We can have a separate script that runs it, but we still, so if we look at the UI building panel, this thing doesn't know, like we need to differentiate between these two, and it needs to know what it's doing. Like it needs to know, like, hey, am I populating the current buildings or am I populating the possible buildings? And currently there's no possible, we need it to run every time on the refresher needs to refresh both. Wait, every time? Yes. So it doesn't fucking matter. We just need this to happen twice. Is that right? We're going to run into a thing where there's 0. Let's see what happens. I'm just curious. Is there a way for us to make this code less codey than just having the code's code? Just a copy of the code. There is. We would run it twice. And the first time it would be the possible buildings, and the second time it would be the other one. But how? I mean, we can put. This is sometimes where ChatGPT can be useful. So let's log into ChatGPT. It's not always useful. I don't know why I do this spiel every time I fucking pull this thing up. I think I don't want you guys to think that I'm a total fucking idiot and I believe everything that ChatGPT says, because it's not that useful. It's totally useful, but it's not as useful. Like if you were probably a very experienced programmer, it wouldn't be that useful. In Unity, I want to run this method. Is this a method? What are we looking at here? This. Well, we got to make this a little. No, it's not a method. This code twice, Twitch, twice, once with possible buildings and a second time with current buildings. Is there a way to let's just leave that and see what it comes up with, because sometimes that's all it needs and other times it's like just returns gibberish. That's what I was trying to avoid. I literally, that's what I was about to write, was I was going to copy this and paste it. Uh, I was going to copy this and, on here and paste it down here and be like, just rearrange that. But I was like, there's probably an easier way or a better way with less code. But it's like, nah, just. So let's ask it if we can. Is there a way to do this with less duplicate code? Oh, oh no! It labeled it create UI building. Oh, okay. So it. um. See what it did. So at the beginning of this stream, we had the thing looking like this. That's funny. We had the thing looking like this, and then I took it out and made it just just run the one thing. So it's saying like basically do it. That's funny. See, that's a good idea. It's less duplicate code. What is this shit? Okay, we could do that. See, like that's an okay suggestion. So what it's saying is we have like the panel refresher, and we put. Why does it think I'm creating buildings? Oh, because I'm instantiating something. Are we? No, we're creating UI buildings. I need to come up with a better name for that. Uh, all right, no, that's a good idea. It's not going to be called. We actually could call it create UI building. We could just take this code directly from here and just be like, and we're not going to do it exactly the same, but we're going to do create UI building should be its own thing, which it is. This should now be though up here. Did it change anything dramatically here? What is going on? It did change some shit. You always got to look at it and be like, what is it doing? To make sure that it's not, because sometimes it does, like it will have a little slight change in here, and you'll be like trying to debug later, and you'll be like, what the fuck is going on? Um, that all looks good to me. It's just making these things. UI building button. It's making an instance of this. Which is fine. I guess it only needs an instance of that. Huh. Yeah, because it's just a temporary usage. That's fine. That looks nice. Then in panel refresher, we'll just put this other code in here that it wrote. First run for possible. First run. And then well, we're going to hope. All right, so then in the building destroyer, we need this to happen twice. Or we could do the exact same thing. Building destroyer, we would have another thing outside of this that would be like literally we would just do exactly what it did up here. And we'll just tell it to do it because I'm lazy. Laziness is like my key component, my key statistic. Sorry. Do that with this too. Let's see. It might get so confused. It gets confused the farther you go. Yeah, there we go. We just be lazy here. And you can thank it. It doesn't matter. Happy coding. Fuck you, dick. It doesn't understand nuance. Uh, all right, so this would be building destroyer, and then on disable. No, we're calling. Are we calling this thing? Panel refresher. Yeah, this is. We don't want it to call it building destroyer. We'll call it. This is a building destroyer, but we want this to be in. We got two of them now. Let's get rid of this one. And we needed this. This actually, it didn't do us any good. I mean, I guess it did. What did they call this one? Did they use an override? No. We can't have that in there. We need to rename this to... Yeah, it fucked this up, kind of. Or I guess it didn't. Whatever. Building destroyer. We'll call this UI building destroyer. And then we'll say we'll have a what the fuck is this? You piece of shit. Panel refresher, panel clearer, public, void. Do these need to be public? I guess they do if this thing's running it. Panel refresher, panel clearer. Oh no, man. We don't want that. We want this. And then we'll have the building, the UI. This should be UI. Panel clearer. God, I'm getting some good songs on here. A lot of them. I just, as I get older, I just listen to the same shit over and over again. And the bummer is, like, if you have a record collection, you can go up to the record collection and, like, look through it and be like, oh, I haven't heard this in a long time. But I gave all my records away years ago. And that's not what we called that. Clearer. I don't know. So I gave all my records away years ago, and so I don't have that. And I used to have, like, remember back when Winamp was a thing, like 100 years ago? I used to have, like, all these playlists and Winamp, and I could just, like, hit. It was like I went through every digital piece of music I had and put them all on playlists. Not everyone, but, like, and as I heard new stuff, I rearranged it. And then one day Winamp left. I think it was Winamp. And I lost all that music too, like my computer died or something. And now I just use YouTube, but my memory of, like, what music I want to hear is I, like, can't remember any bands I like. And so I, like, occasionally be like, oh yeah, let's listen to the Dead Kennedys or something. And I'll listen to them for a while. I'll be like, man, I don't really want to listen to them. But then I'll go down like a punk rock thing. It's almost all old punk rock. But I'll remember, oh, there was a song that was so good, but it was by this band and I can't remember. So then now I'm just listening to the same music over and over again. And I wish you guys could hear it, but we'll see. Eventually, maybe one day I'll switch to a different channel where it doesn't, or a different streaming platform where it doesn't matter. Twitch is not pleasing me very much, but I don't want to switch to Kick because that is like a gambling thing, and I feel like getting kids to gamble is not a not a good idea. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let me print out my break timer. I'll put up a different window too, so it's easier to it's equally shitty to read. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. I know we're gonna get an error. It just dawned on me out there because, well, maybe we won't, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get an error because there isn't anything under the current buildings. Did I fill in the spot we need? Possible buildings. Possible buildings. Yeah, we're not gonna have like anything in there. It's gonna be great. Let's just see. Let's just see what error, and we'll just debug it that way. Who gives a shit? So I think we're gonna get an error. Oh, we didn't, even though there's nothing in there. So I guess if it says like, hey, that's weird. So it knows. What I'm talking about is not here. This fucking thing. Um, so if there's 0, if it's less than 0, okay. Well, no, I guess that works because if it's 0, if it's 0, it's not gonna be less than 0. It's not gonna. Well, that's the destroy one, but it's the same thing as up here. Um, we don't need this. Oh, yes, we do. um, yes, we do. Okay, I was just like, wait. We're not going to be able to test if this is going to bug out. I mean, it should have bugged out, but it makes sense that it didn't now that I think about it. So that should work, but we can't test the current one, and we don't even have the right code. Well, it doesn't matter. We have the right stuff there. We need to strip this off of. So this thing has. This collapse thing is special. This, though. What does this have? You know what? We don't need this on here at all. And you know what? This. It's going to refresh both of them. So let's put it up here. And let's rename some shit in here. What did we call this? Yeah, this is fine. What did we... This doesn't need to be here, actually. We just put this here. On enable. Well, this needs to go here. Man, we're really cleaning up some shit here. Where's on destroy or on disable? The only thing I'm thinking about here is when does this thing get turned on and off? Does it get refreshed when we click on a new? It doesn't get refreshed We're not getting more. We're getting 2 of these though. Oh, you know why we're getting 2? Because we have this other script in here. We can remove this component. This is this working right? When we click, it needs to close and reopen this, which is dumb. Or we need to tell it to refresh, which is we're back to that bullshit. Which I hate doing, which is opening and closing something to have it refresh, but we could do it. We could also, there's a better, no, that's still the same issue. I don't know why we're not getting bugs. Yeah, maybe it's the same buildings that we're looking at the wrong building. I wonder how we could tell that easily. There is an easy way we could do that. Whoops, not pause. We can figure that out easily with in here. We could say debug because we name the buildings by what county they're in. So the actual building will be debugged there. We haven't even gotten to the description part, which will be another pain. Portland Garden Shack. Yeah, so this is the same building no matter where we're clicking on. So on select county, we need to, or not on select county, yes, on select county, we need to run this refresher. And the other thing we need to do is we need to start out with the panel clearer. Where you going, kitty? We need to have it run the panel clearer at the beginning. And then on select county, we need, look at all this shit. Refresh buildings panel. Here we go. We can just get rid of this UI buildings panel refresher. UI buildings panel. Buildings panel dot instance dot panel. Did we just really reduce all that code down to that though? We just pulled out 4 lines of code. We have 1/4 the code. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. You know, sometimes I put the console up here. A lot of times I do. It can't run it because it's not open yet. It's not enabled yet. So it's not on select. We just have to tell it. Where the fuck did that go? Right here, we just have to say if UI buildings panel dot instance is not equal to null, then we do this. I think that will do the trick because it will be null. It's only, well, wait, on enable we say it's this. On disable, then we're gonna have to say it's not this. I've never done that before, but I think that's what we're gonna have to do because instance equals null. I guess we can have a new instance a bunch of times. I just feel like one is enough, you know? It's almost tempting to put the name up here because if you're clicking around, I guess it says what county you're in over here. You know, we're gonna change this to have like graphics and shit, but that works. This still doesn't do anything, but that's okay because that's what we're gonna do next. This is all for the AI, so we could work on the AI later, which is the AI is very, very basic, but this whole change was so that I wonder if we don't have this, what happens? Kitty has changed into the meow cow. It's just sitting here meowing. The thing is being such a piece of shit lately. I know I say that like every stream, but for like 3 days, it will be the most lovey-dovey cat I've ever encountered in my life, and then it will go back to being just an absolute piece of shit. And my theory is that it goes over to someone else's house because it's not my cat. It goes over to someone else's house and it gets like pampered like it, you know, every time it meows they run over and they feed it treats and they pet it and they take care of it, and so then it's all spoiled and shit, and he comes over here and he just meows and meows and meows and meows, and I won't do that because I'm not my cat's little bitch. It's not my cat, uh, because it needs to, you know, have some, you know, the cat should be independent. I don't know. It's um but yeah, then he'll start clawing you if you don't give him attention. And so like me sitting here, I have to keep an eye on the out of the corner of my eye because he's about to, like, hey, I'm meowing and you're not doing what I want, and so I'm gonna come over and claw you. And one of my friends was like, oh, it's so cute when they come up and do that thing on your legs and they you know they want your attention. And I was like, wait until he does it and sinks his claws into you because you haven't given him enough attention. Um, Wait for that and then see how you feel about it. Uh, but then he'll stop doing that after a couple of days of being here. He'll be like, "Oh, this me meowing all the time doesn't work," and he'll go back to being a good cat, a cat that I want to be around. Anyways, all right. So when we go back to this button, we got to go back. Shut the fuck up. It was your choice to wake up, dude. That's not true. I petted him. You might have seen me on the camera petting him. I stopped and petted him, and now he's awake and crying and crying and crying because the only time he's good to hang out with is when he's sleeping. Uh, Occasionally he's very cute, but and he's scared of everything too. Like if I walk with like a pillow in my hand because I move my bed stuff off my bed before I start streaming. He's like, oh, you're gonna hit me with a pillow. It's like, no, shut up. Just over there crying. Anyways, uh, and eventually it gets on my nerves enough where the other day I couldn't walk anywhere without him just like colliding with my leg. Like literally, I was like walking like a Frankenstein's monster, like just the tiniest little steps so I didn't accidentally step on it. And I couldn't get anywhere because he was just constant, and then I finally get to where I can sit down and he started clawing me, and I was just like, dude. So I put him outside, and then, you know, of course, he's like traumatized. Why are you doing this to me? So that's the look he gives. Let's go to this prefab. Let me stop talking about this goddamn cat, and let's look at this prefab. All right, so this UI building button script, it should, yeah, building button. I don't think we need this because you're going to be clicking the actual, you know, it's going to be, we don't need an instance of this. We looked at that and we got rid of it. So what is this thing doing? All right, it's bringing up the. All right, we might be able to use some of this. So the building button exists. So we're going to click on the building button, and if it looks like it's transform.parent equals, we don't use this anymore. What are we doing? God, fuck you, cat. He also he also knows that it upsets me if he goes behind the computer. So if I don't give him enough attention that he wants immediately, he's gonna go behind the computer and start like pushing cords because he knows that I always stop him. So this is not. So I see what I'm doing here, and this is an interesting idea of way to do this. So it's saying like, hey, if it's this button, do that. If it's that button, do that. But do we need? Oh, why do we need these differentiated? Just why don't we just have it always do? There was probably a reason for that, but let's not use that reason anymore. Let's get rid of that reason. Let's just go back to basics here. So we were doing this like building number bullshit, but we no longer are doing that. So this is going to set the description. It's going to turn the description on. We don't need to manually do that shit. It's going to turn the description. When you click the building button, it's going to turn the building description panel. UI current building panel. This is dumb. I think we moved this to world map load, didn't we? Building description panel. We should have it there. We could have it, we could have it. Well, where do we put it? Where is it on the actual? Get the fuck out of here. Where is it in this actual thing? Buildings panel. Possible current collapse the buildings. This so it's not a child of this. These are their own things. And we probably put it in county info. County info does require county info does require. It does have to be. You can't look at the buildings thing without county info being open. So that's these things need to be under here. The only way you can get to these things is if this is open. I'm trying to think, but yeah. So let's put this under here. Let's put these under here. And we have two of these because we were having them different. We're having them be different. But I think we can get away with just one of them. So let's use this possible buildings one as if the one that we're going to be using. Oh, I remember why they're so different. Because they have a ton of different things. And we're going to, like in current building, we're going to have, all right, so we'll need two different ones. That's fine. So this thing, the UI buildings panel, that's going to include the descriptions now. So we want this stuff. Well, let's hit play and see if that refresher thing, and let's get rid of that. Let's pull that code out of here so we get bugs if it's being used somewhere. We want bugs if it's getting used somewhere. So what did I just do? We're going to put this in my Unity shit pile. Unity shit pile. I'm in the wrong spot here. Old Unity shit. So we got rid of this. We still have current buildings panel. Current buildings button pressed. Invoke. What is this doing? Did we ever update this when we copied possible buildings? Buildings panel refresher. That we got rid of. I'm almost 100% positive. We'll see here. I just dragged it out of there. And it always does that error when you drag shit out of there. We'll just comment that out currently. We're to that part, but I want to clean up this extra crap. UI, I wish it told you how many things were accessing this. I guess we could open it up. What I said, we can open this up and look to see, it has, okay, so this has 8 references and 4 references. Current building number, current UI, current buildings panel. I don't think we're actually using that anymore. Yeah, look at, so it's like doing, what is this? Current building, press button, panel refresh, panel refresh. Okay, I see what it's doing there. We don't need this anymore. It's gonna bust some shit, but we don't need that. Let's get it out of here. Then there should probably be a possible buildings button. UI possible buildings panel, we can also remove out of here. Whoa, whoa, chill out. UI possible buildings panel. This is left here so the bugs will shut the fuck up. Okay, so this is the one that we were just looking at where I just removed everything out of here. Let's get this the fuck out of here. And that's going to cause a bunch of bugs. Did you do it? You did it. Okay. All right, let's fix these bugs. There's only 16 of them. We don't care about that. Clear those things. There's only 16 of them. Deduct cost of building. What? I'm going to debug log here. Which one? Banker.cs deduct cost of, let's make it like of building. Can I put this in here with that bullshit going on? All right, then we're going to comment this out. I just want to know when that's getting hit, even though we might get rid of that code. This makes it so the population gets the correct building to build. See, this is with that weird current building number shit. We're just going to, should we debug log it? No, fuck it. This is also having a problem with this whole thing. Move building to current building list. We're gonna use this, so let's put a debug log in here. We're just not gonna use it with the same. Where is this? This is in world map load. Wonder why we put it there. And we'll comment out this whole thing. We got like 12 of these in here, huh? Look, it has a refresh panel thing at the end that it's invoking. There we go. And there's no context for this one. Set next day job. See, we kind of did away with most of this stuff. Some of this is going to be useful, but we're going to just debug log this thing as well. I just want to know when it's getting fired, basically, so when we can go to it and fix it. This is also in world map load. We'll probably take this stuff out of here. I've never done debug logs like this, but I was thinking about it. I looked at the Grand Tactician debug logs, and they were just filled with garbage. Just absolutely, I couldn't believe how hardcore how many for a game that's finished, how many bugs were getting thrown with stuff like missing game object and things like that. And I was like, you know what would have helped them? Because I was betting that one of their issues is that they couldn't tell where all these bugs were coming from, and I was like, it would have helped them if they had put in like stuff like that and whatever. That game's a fucking joke. The game's not a joke. The developers are a fucking joke. Uh, what is your problem here? Current building. They are dramatically different, so. But we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. Not three of them. I don't know what three does. Then we're back to a different panel refresher, which, man, this is gonna be quite a debug action here. Current county info doesn't have anything. Panel refresher. This is good God. I love these names I give them. .cs. All right, how many more do we got to do here? Oh, we have a lot. Check enough influence. Is this in the banker? No. We'll do the same. See, it's all looking for like these possible numbers and stuff, and we're not going to do it that way anymore. That's like it's so tedious and error prone. We're doing it. We're moving around the actual game object, a game object that's in the inspector that the player can't see when they're playing it. But we'll be able to see it. It's moving. It's going to move that around, and that has the information attached to it, and that will make our lives easier, I think, for debugging in the future and also for other stuff. But right now, we're just going to put these debug logs in here just for. Where is this? This is the same thing. Do I have that on my? I know it gives you some of this information when you get a bug, but we're breaking apart a bunch of code. We're down to 7. Down to 7. Yeah, we look at all this like crazy shit for like panel changes we got. Hopefully we can simplify some of that stuff. This long motherfucker. Check enough unemployed. All right, like this stuff. This is gonna be needed for when we build things. So we're gonna salvage some of this code. UI building checker. We actually might use that actual script too. Some of this we're gonna rewrite from scratch though. Building checker. What's your problem? Capital L. I think we might actually need to have 2 of these still. I'm getting lazy. I'm getting more lazy, and I'm just gonna comment this out. We'll figure it out. These are all in the same spot, huh? Oh, look, we got a panel refresher here, too. Wonder what panel we're refreshing. Are you sure you want to build... minus button. I wonder if there's a better way to do that too. Those are so you can manually pick, you know, how many workers you want to work or to build the building. Plus button. Yeah, I'm getting lazy. Just want to get this show on the road, man. Max button, perfect. Same thing. We're gonna baby step this shit. Okay, and then we're gonna tear out stuff, more stuff if we can. I wonder if there is a way to say to figure out like uh, to have it like look for in Unity, like look for unused scripts. Scripts. I'm just curious. Unity will show you a list of all the assets that are referenced in the scene, so you can check if there's scripture. Another option would be to right click in an asset and find references, but it's slower and you have to check on each scene one by one. There's a tool made especially for getting rid of unused assets. I guarantee it's the easiest possible way without losing context. Oh, this is an advertisement. This guy's on Telegram. Get the fuck out of here. How old is this? Oh, it's pretty new. Wait, August 20th, like the 20th, or like the yeah. I wasn't sure if it was like August 2020 or August 20th. Uh, yeah, I would never get anything from somebody who has a Telegram account. This shit's fucking trash. It's fucking toxic trash. I don't even know how that Telegram is even existing. I'm amazed that it isn't shut down around the world. Um, okay, so what did we just do? We just looked up something for no apparent reason that we didn't even need to look at. Why am I doing this? Because I just wanted to make sure we weren't getting any bugs. Okay, so let's go back to the button thing, which is on the prefab. We can close all this other shit. First things we want to do is when we need two things. We can put it in world map load, but I wonder if we should put it somewhere else, like right here, because this is going to have to be turned on for these things to be accessed. So let's put it up here and we'll get it out of world map load. And you know what we can do in world map load is, oh, this doesn't show references here though. It's only to certain stuff. Well, the fuck is this? Current building description panel expanded. Oh, why did we have a bool for that? We'll comment it out and we'll wait for the hell to break loose. Oh my god, there's like 900 things referencing that. What are they doing? All right, we won't break that shit just yet. I'm in the wrong. Why did we have a bool that controlled that? We'll have to. There's gonna be a cleanup period here. So after these things, you'll click on that button and we'll need two. Is it going to be, can we pull it off with private? You click a button, the button is going to reference this. We cannot pull it off with private. Current building. Fuck me. Why do I always... I don't lift up on the shift fast enough. Good guess there, guys, but not really. All right, so we're gonna need one of each of those because they are different and they're pretty. They're pretty. Um, where is this? Oh, world map load. It wouldn't. That never gets disabled. I guess we just had it there because they say to have that on disable. Let's put these back in order, though. I just noticed that they're in a different order. UI building panel. Maybe I should just like pin this since this is what we're working on the most right now. I don't know. Back to this. And should be possible. This should be current. Then when you click that button, wherever the fuck it just slid off to. So these are attached to, that's actually that, oh look, we have, no, that one we want gone. This one we want gone. Do we need that anymore? Why do we need this? I kind of really like destroying shit. I wish in real life, you know, besides programming, I could just smash shit up all the time. Okay, that's the expand building button, and this is the collapse building button. Why the fuck do we need that other script on here, though? What's referencing this? Let's remove this. We can always put these, like, you know, I'm storing these away so we can put them back if we have to. And then there should be, yeah, a collapse building button. Wonder why we had a script attached to that had like nothing in there. Yeah, we don't need that shit. That's gonna be on here. No, on here. And this is underneath here because you can't, this doesn't even have that thing attached. By the time we're done with all these rewrites, we're going to have 2 lines of code and the whole game will work without it, without all the other shit. I mean, it has the stuff that it's doing. It's turning that stuff off. I don't know. All right, back to what we're doing. So that expands out. You click the button, which is UI building button. And what we're doing here is we are changing. This should be under UI building buildings panel dot um, possible. Okay, so we've run into a problem here with my ideas. This thing's attached. It doesn't know. So we're using the same building UI thing for both. We could put like a bool in here, and then when it would know. My music stopped. So what I'm saying is so it doesn't know if it's a current or this prefab doesn't know if it's a current building or a possible building. It could be either one, and it doesn't know. It's just it exists, and we could put a prefab, or not a prefab. We could put a bool on here that says, yeah, you're a current building, or yeah, you're a possible building, because it needs to know which description panel it's opening. The other option is to have the description panel be generic, and then we just rearrange the stuff once we do this building info. What does building info have on it? Building info. This is going to take a long time. Building info. So if we check this, and we would know, because it can't be a current building if it's not being built or is built. So we could check this, and then it would know. Where the fuck is that button? Why I gotta do this? Didn't I just get rid of you? Yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta organize this shit better. Um, we'll do building info. Building info equals get component, and if true, no, equals false, or it was close, is built equals false. That's a lie. What I've done is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. It's okay. Actual building. There we go. When this thing's getting set up, we should have that right thing. Else, so there's a better way to do this, but we're setting. This is set to false. This should be true. And this is going to be current. And this is going to be true. But that reminds me, we should be turning off the other one, because you can pick between the two. So we'll if it's a possible building, whoops, you can we should just false this, and then this should be, god damn it, copy. Let's look what we have attached here. I was thinking maybe we just say on here, turn off that shit. UI possible building. So we're just gonna turn this on, and then all this shit is gonna fill in, not fill up. On enable it does this stuff. I wonder why we need this instance here. Nobody's referencing this shit. I think I got carried away with that shit too. Let's give it a second and see if we get a bunch of bugs. Well, besides that one. Yeah, we didn't need that. I'm finding that a lot. I was going ape shit on this stuff, talking about when I talked about getting excited. There's another example of it. These things we all are going to need. So this is what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking with this. Instead of on here, we will put this. I think I just fucked up what I just did, but so on enable, we'll have it pause time, and we'll, yeah, I did. I accidentally hit cut twice, and I copied that thing. We'll have this just know to turn off that whenever it's enabled. No matter how you enable it, this thing should be turned off. And we'll do the same thing with the current one. These scripts are going to be very similar, but they're not going to be the same. Do we have a current, you know how we can make sure that this, we can, what the fuck is this? The name of this band is Destroy Boys. I wish you guys could hear this shit. Oh, you still can't hear it. I turned it, I don't know why. Properties. Why is my, it says it's it's weird because sometimes it's weird. What is this fucking band? I kind of dig it. I'll get in trouble, but who cares? And we'll also restart the song. Maybe I'll take a break too. Oh, it's what am I doing here? We want to have this. This is what I'm hearing in my ears. There we go. What the fuck is this band? I oh no, I gotta pause it so that, because you know it has an opening. It has an opening. Oh fucking A. This isn't. God, I said pause. Yeah, I know you guys can't hear this. You will soon enough. Let me go back to OBS. Let me turn this on. And let me go back to this. Let me go to this.
You're ruining my life day by day. The butterflies you give me are literally making me nauseous. This is disgusting. Like, seriously, dude? What do you think you're doing? You're like way older than me, and you're gross, and I don't want to do that.
What the fuck is this song? I know I'm sidetracked here. What's the name of this band? Destroy Boys. I want to have a wiki. Oh, they're like a new band. It's funny that this is a band from 2015. I totally would have guessed this was like 1990 or something, like a band where I used to go to shows and hear this. This totally sounds like this totally sounds like a band from back in the day that I used to go to shows all the time. But I got old and fucking stupid. Oh, there's like 40 people in this band too. It said that it. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. But that was. I was just like, what is this song that I'm listening to? That I have a mix that it's going through that YouTube solely sometimes just throws in some shit. It said Bikini Kill was a big influence. Obviously, I saw Bikini Kill once. They were okay. I have a huge Bikini Kill story, but I'm not going to tell it because it's dumb. When you get older, you're like looking back on your stories and you're like, yeah. They cite influences like Operation Ivy, The Misfits. I don't know who Dog Party is. Against Me, The Who, Sleater Kinney, Lady Gaga, The Distillers, Black Sabbath, and The Police. Every once in a while, I feel like The Police has a revival, and every time I listen to it, I think, God, The Police sucks. They're a terrible, shitty band. So that's what I have to say about that. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Enough rambling about music, and then we'll get back to this. And I should mute my music again. I'm sure I'll get in some sort of trouble. Anyways, yeah, let me throw up my break timer. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Okay. You know, I was just thinking on YouTube, sometimes they make me remove the song. And so there might be like just a period of where I'm sitting there and it's muted. The song's gone. Um, that will be a bummer if that happens. The song's gone. Uh, but I turned this off, right? They can't hear the song, but I'm sitting there listening to it like they can. UI, what is this thing? Close description panels. We'll just get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this too. All right, what is this shit? All right. Now, when we click on a button, it should. This one should pull up the possible script. This is that error that was showing, you know, so this is what happened in that. Do I still have it open? No, in that. So this is the exact error that Grand Tactician was getting at the beginning when you run their game. And all you have to do is click on the fucking thing. I already did it. And it will bring you to the script where it's looking for it and hit remove. Like, what a joke those fucking guys are. And you can see what it was. Oh, well, I did it in the play window. So you'd have to do it once there. But I know that I just got rid of this. But if I didn't know what that was trying to find, you know, it's just, those guys are fucking... My opinion of them was low already, and now it's sunk so low. I actually think like it's so low at this point that I am wondering if they're maliciously doing stuff. Like if they're like, there's no like, what are they doing with their cash? Like, is it a cash grab? Like, if there's something shady going on, I don't know what the fuck, man. But it's crazy. Anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're currently doing. So here we go. This opens up. And that's all, you know, test information, but, you know, that's working. And so when this thing opens up, the description panel, we got this possible building. This is going to populate the stuff. So on enable, it will always make sure that the current, if the possible building panel is open, it will always make sure the current panel is open. I don't know why we were doing this, so I'm just going to get rid of it. What is this list? Okay, we probably are going to need this. Where's my OBS? What the fuck is this doing? We're getting this list and we're going through the list and we're subscribing to the current employees refresh. We don't need that anymore. I don't think. I don't think we need that anymore. That's and then we have this refresh thing, so I don't think we need this. There's a reference to this where isn't that what we're in on a line 112? Then we unsubscribe from all of them. I don't think we need that either. I don't think we need any of this shit. We do need some of this shit, actually. We need the panel. Current employees refresh. That's a different thing. We're going to need this panel refresh. I'm pretty sure. Let's move this to the top. On enable, we're going to want the panel to refresh. So we know that. I know these are all named similar things, but so we're going to want the panel to refresh, and in this building info, Yeah, see, we did it with all this weird like numbers and stuff. We don't need that to be that way. Possible building info is fine. We could actually just call this building info. And how are we getting this building info? So the building info that we're currently, so this is, we've clicked a building in that expanded, the possible buildings list. On the UI possible building list, we've clicked that. That thing knows which building it's been selected, but probably what we should do is go up here. Oh no, fuck this song. I know you guys can't hear it. It's a ukulele. Amanda Palmer has a bunch of ukulele songs, and oh yeah, we'll get there. Buildings prefab. Why do we need that? Why can't we use that? Do we need this? Something changed here. Why wouldn't we just put it UI buildings panel? Just put this in here. Oh, we took it out of here. Wonder why did I put it in world map load? Let's not put it in world map load. UI building panel. Yeah, I don't know why I would put it over there. Let's put it here. We're gonna need to put it. Oh, we have it right here. Did I not save this? UI building panel. Building prefab. Building prefab. I wonder why I put it. Well, whatever. We don't need it there. Wait, was I just looking at. Did I just jump between these two? Did I just comment this out and be like, wait, because I thought I was in here? I think I did. Okay. I'm going to try to stop saying okay so much as well. What we want to have here is. Look at all these, like, is open, like these bools. Wonder why we did that. Population description panel, that's a different thing. That one I think we'll keep as a list, but maybe we won't. So what we want to do, well, I guess I'll leave that for now. We want to have like a game object, not here, not there. Select county. We're going to move this. Oh, that's why that was there. I was like, why is this here? I see now. We'll have current selected token. Oh, we can't see inside getter setters. That's why that's that way. Total population, total capital pop. I don't know if we're actually doing that. You know, I've been playing a lot of Victoria 3, and I feel like they use the terminology that developers use in the actual help. They call everything like pop and stuff. Like it would be the same. They would say like, you know, Max County pop. And I think it's weird that they do that instead of, because like just type out the whole thing for the player. But possible description current. So what you need up here, this is going to be a serialized field. No, it's going to be public, a public game object. It's going to be current building, current selected building. And what we'll do is we'll go back to this button thing. This will make it so much easier. And actual building right here, when you click on this, this will be world map load instance dot currently select. Okay, we want currently selected building is going to equal actual building. But let's rename this to the correct shit. Currently, we just wanted, well, not that way. Let's rename it this way. Okay. Oh, I did it again. I said okay. I want to stop doing that. This will equal did it again. Did it again with the 9 and the 10. Oh, when we rename this, I didn't do it right. So let's call this, and let's rename this to, okay. Oh my God, I just said okay again. We got a thing down here. All right, so on the, I changed okay in my vocabulary to all right. Now I'm just not saying anything. So when we click on this, it should, all right. It fills in this information. This button shouldn't do anything right now because we have it turned off. So let's make sure, and this is part of the thing that we had on there, that we need to refresh this every time this is clicked. This needs to refresh because we don't know. And that may be why we had an event like it was refreshing this. So on because it's not being turned on and off, it's just refreshing. So on the building button, we should have if could we do it that way? No. If this actually isn't world map load, this is UI building panel. UI buildings panel. We wouldn't have to have an. Okay, so we click that. This would happen, and then we would go. Where's that refresh thing? UI possible. Do we have an instance here? We don't have an instance. So we are going to need an instance of this because we do need this to refresh. This is a public, we need this to scripts to be able to refresh this. Look, it didn't put it the other way. We need to be consistent here. Just do it, fuckstick. Just fill it in for me. Thank you. Fucking A. We need this to be consistent. And we want it on enable, I think, because we're going to be turning it on and off. On awake, I guess it does work, so we'll put it in awake. And we'll see. That other one, we put it in on enable. So it's going to be redoing that every time. Where was that? Yeah, let's put this in awake. I guess awake, I assume that if I started thinking like maybe it doesn't, on awake it doesn't. What happens if it goes to sleep? Does it go away? Well, we'll find out. Instance dot panel refresher. we wanted the panel refresher to happen. And this is going to be the same, except with current building. We'll have to comment it out right now. See, this code's going to be very similar. Maybe we could write it so that it's the same thing, like where it does something. This is very similar. So let's hit play. I think we probably can. We can just, instead of having two separate scripts, we'll have the same script, like refresh both of them. Was that how this was working before? You know, we probably should, like I said, we should probably, we know up here, but we should probably put it over here. And these things should still not be working. Oh, well, that one's got to check enough resources. There's that debug log I put in there. So let's go down the list of things we need to do. So there is a building. There is a building. Build button. A lot of this, you know, because we have all the UI stuff already built, it's kind of nice. We don't have to build UI build county improvements. Yeah, but where is the actual, oh, it's on this script? It's on this button? um, let's see here. Let's see. Man, we're already 2 hours and 20 minutes in. So this is attached to the actual button. That seems... I don't like that. Let's move this up to possible building. Build county improvements. I actually kind of want this up on the building panel. Because it seems like you would have this up here. Because, you know, this is says the building county, and this is this. Yeah, I think I want it up there. And then what was this other thing? UI building checker? We should put this up here too. I think all of the things that are dealing with the UI buildings panel should be up on here. If we can, you know, not these things, because these are like on awake. But these ones, if you're building something, well, we'll see if we just fucked everything up, and we may have. So this one we're good with. This is not enough resources, not enough workers, not enough assigned, enough population. Why are these separate? Look at this. We got like two things. This is the UI building checker, but then we don't have it. Yeah, I wrote this so bizarrely. So let's think how we really want it, and we'll put, so we got the UI buildings panel, which in this controls the panels and stuff, right? That's all this does. It refreshes. I think that's good to have this separate. So this is a separate thing that just controls the panels. That seems good to me. We'll have because there's the looking at it, and then there's the building. Now what the fuck am I listening to? The problem with these debug logs is I just dragged and dropped something. I don't think I want this on here to be a separate thing. I think this should be its own. The building, the improvement should check its own shit. So let's remove this from here. And let's go back to this. And this thing looks like a convoluted mess to me. So build county improvement button. So that's the build button. And I kind of want to just rename it to build button. Because that's what it is. It's the build button. It's nothing. It doesn't say build county improvement. I mean, we could rename the button to that. So the first thing it needs to do is check if you have enough influence. So that's what this was, and it says enough influence true. Is that a way we want to do that? Not enough assigned workers panel, not enough resources panel. Are you sure panel? These all look like that's good. I don't think we need this bool. Maybe we do. I'm not going to look at this stuff below this right now. First, we got to check enough influence. Shouldn't the banker be doing that? I feel like that's the banker's job, right? Like, doesn't it seem like we have the banker there for this particular reason? And the banker just sits, well, so the banker, all right, so let's think about this from the AI's perspective. Well, the AI isn't doing it that way. The AI is, so the AI, let's look at how the AI is building stuff because we want to have the least amount of duplicate code. The AI is faction AI. No, we put something. Is that all we did was this one? Check for building buildings. Building buildings. Yes, this is the one. So this is going I thought we put another. That this was referencing. No, I'm almost positive we did. Yeah, we did. That's why we started redoing all this stuff. Is because there actually is already. So this subscribes for the first run. It's checking for building buildings. And so it goes through and it says, like, hey, if there's enough of this shit, then do something. And that's what this is. And then we build the building. Yeah. So this is, we're getting rid of all this like other things. So the build buildings should work for the UI and for us, except we just have to move some stuff. Us being a human, we just have to move some stuff around. So the banker, what does the banker do? Maybe we don't need the banker. I like the idea of a banker, of something that like keeps track of all of the resources for everyone, maybe? Or do we need an instance of the script, of the banker script, per faction? See, this has like deduct cost of building. Shouldn't the banker also be checking if you have enough influence? Like, doesn't that make sense? It should be like, hey, check this. So how are we doing? Where's the faction AI? I swear to God, I thought we did this differently. Does it ever check to see if we have enough influence? I thought we did that too. Yeah, it checks right here. Does the banker, let me think about this. Does the banker need to actually be attached to a game object, or can we just like do that like equals new banker? Does the banker do? It doesn't need to be. Let's do it this way then. We need to keep this thing around here to temporarily. I've started doing these where I'm pinning stuff up here. I think we're done with this though, aren't we? So you can be unpinned. We want the faction AI. We're going to be rewriting the faction AI, the banker. And so when the UI building checker, that needs to go like out of the game. UI building checker. We might look at this script later, but we need the banker should be checking for this stuff, and it should be checking for everyone when it does this. UI building county, UI build county improvement. Yeah, so this should be like check for influence. This should actually be checking, like tell the banker, do the banker thing. Do your banker thing, banker, and the faction AIs need to all, and this is why we're rewriting all this shit. The faction AIs need to also be like, hey, check the banker. Use your banker. So what we would do, I think, is we would do a public banker called banker in here, and I don't know if I can just do that. Well, can we just, I think we can just do banker, new banker. Do it for me, motherfucker. New banker. Can we do that? God damn it. Or is this doing it? Let's ask in Unity, I have a script and I just want a new instance of it. How do I code that? Create a prefab. I don't want to use a fucking prefab. Nah, man. Nah, get the fuck out of here. You're high. You're fucking high. This is no. I said a script, didn't I? If you want to create a new instance, I assume you mean creating a new instance of a game object with this. No, I don't want to. No. No, I don't want a game object. Just the script. I don't want to instantiate shit. It keeps, you know, the IntelliCode keeps saying like, kept suggesting this new thing, and I was like, oh, maybe there's a way to do this. Maybe I don't have to do anything. You know, we can test it pretty simply. I used to know how to do this, but I don't anymore. We could just go deduct cost of building right here. Man, I'm remembering this time that I don't know if I streamed it. I probably did, where I went through and changed all these to capitals. And yeah, let's see what happens when we hit play on this. This is going to be confusing because we have that other thing, but on yeah, it doesn't know what that is. Look at this crap. This is an instance of it, though. All right, let's do it this way then. Let's tell it. I have the script already attached to another game object. Look at all this null shit it's putting in here. No, it doesn't understand what I'm asking, I don't think. I'm not asking it correctly. New instance of class. Oh, it's Kurt. You know, and I found it earlier today. Um, I saw Kurt talking to somebody, and and everyone was like, "Dude, why are you being such a dick?" Yeah, like he is right now. And everyone just ignores him because he's such a dick. That's what he's doing right here. He's saying, "This is basic here. Why don't you do some basic stuff?" The most beginner. I wonder why he spends so much of his time just fucking trolling people. This isn't what I want either. I think I'm asking the wrong question, and it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. We can have a banker attached to each faction. That's probably what we should do, honestly, instead of doing what I was just trying to be lazy. So this we would yeah, I don't know why that guy's such a dick. He must seriously, I genuinely don't like, get a life, dude. But he must seriously not have a life. He just must sit around. I think we have a faction prefab here. He must just sit around. Yeah, we do. We're gonna stick a banker script on here. Whoops. And yeah, that's the way we'll do it. So each faction will have its own banker script, which is what we want. And so what we'll do, faction AI, we will have banker equal, yep, that's exactly what we want. And then we'll have it like deduct the cost. Well, this should probably be on awake. I have a feeling that the reason why we don't have this in an awake on here is because of how it, well, it should be fine. And then this is just the faction info. Now, if we test this, I was like, why is this a duck building in here? It was just so we could test it. Yeah, so that works how we want it to work. So now we can use this. We don't, so I just don't want to have all of the This is the thing. They might be using. This is why we could just say, "Hey, use this instance of the banker up there," but I don't want to do that because these things might be happening at the same time. They might be checking, and I don't want it to lag out while it's trying to wait for the other thing to get done. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but that's what I want it to. So for like this. Is there enough food? So check for building buildings. We first want to do like the first thing we want to do is check, is there enough food? If not, build a garden check. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go banker, check for food. The banker is gonna check for the fucking food, man. Not and then it will return yes or no. So we need a new thing on here. We do have this instance of the banker. I don't think we're going to need that. Public void check enough food. Isn't that what we just called this fucking thing? We must not have. Check for food. Check enough food. Check enough food is better. What do you mean my typing? All right, so the banker now we have to put in. Why is this? We did this. There we go. Let's try to do this one without this because I don't think we want. Do we need an instance of? We don't want an instance of this actually. We want. Like the player will be using his own instance as well. We don't want it. When we put the instance in there, where everything's accessing that. From what I understand, what the fuck do I know? So this is going to be like that other thing though, where we need to pass in the faction, and we need to pass in. That's it. We just need to have a faction in here. So then here, faction AI, we should just be able to pass in faction. And this is going to return a yes or no, which I don't actually ever use. A bool, a yes or no. Which I don't actually have ever done. I've never had anything return anything. If food, what did we call this thing over here? Global instance minimum food. Yeah, I want the banker to do to have a separate thing where that we can just look and like the banker's doing this shit. If faction.food is less than global minimum food, I mean, I guess we return false, right? No, I don't know how to do this. Oh, since it's return void, we gotta put a bool here, I suppose. But then it doesn't like this. Not all code paths return a value. I've never actually written a method that returns anything. It's about time, right? That solved that problem. But what does this thing say? Change signature. Not all code paths. Alt enter. Let me see. Let me ask this thing. This creature. This creature over here. So back to the Kurt thing. we've had a lot of new people at my work, and so I'm setting up computers with a lot of new people, and all of them tell me the same thing, that they assume IT guys are just the biggest assholes on the planet. And I think that like his attitude is like a turn off for people to get into IT, to interact with IT people. And that's like a huge issue, I think, in IT, is that it's always like there's these know-it-alls stomping around thinking that they're so fucking smart, and they're not that smart. They just have worked in the field for longer than other people. Um, in Unity, I want to return a bool with uh, from a method. It's gonna be like, you're stupid. Else return public bool check. Oh, you could return, but why doesn't it like this? Oh, and maybe I'm gonna see. Maybe it just wanted me to have the return thing. Is that all it or wanted both? Oh, it did. Interesting. But I kind of like this other thing better. I kind of like this code better. Less to or equal then. Greater than or equal to. What did you just do to my code? Food is greater than or equal to. Check enough food. Oh, I guess it's right. If there's true would be if it's more than minimum food. All right, so why did we write this big thing when it's just a fucking simple check here? Because we're going to have to put in here if banker dot check enough food. We don't even need this. Faction is equal to false. Then do that stuff. Then we do this stuff. So then let's go back to what our, how, then we're going to go back to this thing, and we have the refresh thing, and we need the build button, building button. When you're dealing just with the players shit, it's kind of interesting to add the AI in there. It's kind of interesting. Current, so this is, where am I? Possible building. Because we move this. This should be here. So we're not checking if there's enough food because we're the human and we've decided there's not enough food. So then we'll go back to the banker though, and we'll do like another one of these. Check enough influence. Faction. And then we'll just return faction.influence. And we're comparing this to what? So this is just an AI check. This is going to check the cost, check enough. I mean, if we this is kind of dumb now that if we put in another thing, this How do I want to do this? I want it to be, if we put another thing in here where we're also checking against, well, I guess it could do things like if there's not enough influence, it pops something up and says you don't have enough influence, or it writes it to the combat log, which we should, or we're not calling it a combat log, we're just calling it like the player log or something, and it says there's not enough shit. There's not enough shit, not enough influence. So if you clicked on it, we'd also want it to break out though. These little things might not be the best way to do this. We're in a build building, check enough influence. I think we have a player faction. No, that's like a number. We have a, oh, I know what it is. It's, no. They're down here. We have a faction list stuff somewhere. Factions. I think this is a number. It's not. Good God. Oh, because this is also, we need a period in there. Okay, it's not. Player faction. What did we call it? What did we do with this? Oh, no, it is a faction. The fuck? Check. Oh, we haven't written it yet. Jesus fucking Christ. So this is supposed to check the building cost, but we need to check enough food. This is like an AI check. Like these are, let's check enough influence. See, so this is the problem. If we put if we hard code the building in, not the actual building, but the building cost in here, then how do we need check enough influence building cost or something. Check influence, check building cost or something like that. Check building cost. And right now it's going to be influence, but it's not, we don't know what that will be. So it's going to be the faction. And once again, this is, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's faction. No. Check building cost. This thing's actually going to get kind of big. It's gonna be like, hey, influence wood, whatever. Right now we're only using influence, but so let's make it work that way though. So it's gonna bring in the faction, and then it's gonna bring in an int, which is gonna be the resource. No, it's gonna be an int. It's gonna be cost. No, how are we doing this? let's do it where how it works first. So we're checking influence versus this is the cost, and then over here we would pass in that comma world map load instance currently selected building dot this is too long. We can put in right here, we can do a faction. It's going to equal this. And then the cost, we're going to do an int cost is going to equal currently selected building. It actually should see, okay, so this is what we're going to need to do though. We're going to need to know, right now it's just influence, but later it might be wood. So maybe we should put this in. So this, let's pass in the building. Build button. We got to go back to here. The banker needs to check building cost. This is going to be a faction, and this is going to be a building info. And this is only going to work if we're we'll figure that out later, but this is only going to work with if there's one thing. If it only costs one resource. And then we're going to go in here, and this is just going to be building info. And we're going to go if wait, what the fuck am I doing? We're getting there. Oh God, what have I hit now? Just chill out for a second. We're gonna get it. Check building influence. We're passing this in. Return equals true. We're gonna go back to the banker. We don't have the right info here. UI building. We need a banker in here. It doesn't know what the fuck, and it's also called. It's not called that anymore. Building UI building improvement county UI build county improvement button. I think this should just be called build county improvement because we're gonna have the build button in here. So let's even break this more in our if it will let us. I don't think it's gonna let us. Build improvements. I guess this is different though. Build county improvements. Build county improvements. Did I save that shit? Sort of. Build county improvements. Maybe we can merge those. What is this thing? What is this script? Is this what we're using what the AI is using? Check if building already built. Yeah, this is so we should probably call this like AI or something, or we should combine these. Check building cost. Is that what I called that shit? Check building cost. It is, but we also need up here. This needs to have the banker should be at the top probably. then we're going to go banker. I mean, we could use the instance thing, but I don't see any point of... We're having our own instance of it. The banker... How are we doing with the AI? I'm like, I keep flip-flopping. The AI is getting its own thing. This, though... The fuck is this? I got rid of this. Oh, did that flop? Did it flop? That happens occasionally, where when you rename something, it leaves the old one behind. Probably because I had, like, it wasn't compiled or saved or something. Build county improvements, the build button. Do we want to use a specific instance of the banker? Or does it doesn't matter? I think this is fine. We don't need a specific instance. I know I've been in love with the dot instance thing, but I don't think we need we just need any old instance will do the trick. All right, so this is going to pass. It's going to check building costs. Well, where was I just type? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. I'm editing the wrong thing. No, I'm not. What is this shit? What? I just wrote this. What did I guess it didn't get saved or whatever just happened. Am I in the right thing? I don't know what I just did, but we'll just debug log this for a second. For the first thing we do here. What's this thing floating around here for? There is not enough influence. And then back to the banker. We're going to say if faction influence is greater than building info dot it's influence cost, but it's hey, what band is this? I'm hearing all sorts of unusual but good music today. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna go back here. We're gonna do the same thing we did last. I'm gonna get Twitch is gonna get all upset. You know, it's funny too. Is I also emailed Twitch last night to get on my other channel to get rid of my affiliate status because all it does is blast the viewers with fucking ads, and it's like, what's the point of that shit?
Find a cure for my life, find a cure for my life, find a cure for my life, find a cure for my life. Oh my God, oh, you think I'm in control? Oh my God, oh, you think it's all for fun? Oh my God, oh, you think I'm in control? Oh
No, I don't think I linked this.
Pin a smile on my face, pin a smile. Pin a smile on my face, pin a smile. Pin a smile on my face, pin a smile. Pin a smile on my face, put a prize. Put a prize on my soul, put a prize. Put a prize on my soul, put a prize. Put a prize on my soul, put a prize. Put a prize on my soul, oh my god. Oh, you think I'm in control, oh my god. Oh, you think it's all for fun, oh my god.
See, this song's pretty good. It's probably too low for you guys to hear. It's very low in my ears. It's which is weird, because normally I have all my music blasting. I don't know if that turned it up for you guys too. I turned it. Yeah, so I emailed Twitch and said I don't want to be an affiliate anymore on my other channel, and so, you know, it's gonna be. It's gonna be, you know, this is not the day to be fucking around, and if they check this channel, they'd be like, well, he's been playing music, fuck him. I mean, I only have 15 follows on here. It's like I could easily move to YouTube without any issues. Yeah, I don't know who this person is either. Ida Maria? Just bring me back to when I worked in college radio. I mean, I didn't get paid for that. What is this thing's fucking problem? If banker, private banker, we need some bankers in here. UI building improvements. Can I just drag this fucker in here? I don't think I can. Oh, maybe I can. All right, we're gonna turn off my sound again. It was just her song was really low, because this next song is fucking blasting my ears out. Oh, the Mountain Goats. You heard one of their songs, you heard them all. For a while, like everywhere I went, you know, I never leave my house anymore, but I used to hang out occasionally, and it was just the Mountain Goats was just it being played in every motherfucker's house, phone, everything, you know. What the fuck? Karin, thank you for the follow. I'm gonna, you guys won't be able to hear it, but I'm gonna listen to some other one of this woman's songs. Ida Maria. It does help. Thank you. Sorry, I'm fucking with my music right now, which I shouldn't be doing. I should be I should be programming, but I don't know. Let's see. What was I fixing? Oh, I just needed to drag this thing in here, I think. Yeah, it's crazy that just that one song is really really low. Where's my banker? Banker, get in here. There we go. Now let's try this again. There is enough influence. Is that true? It is. We have a 1,000 influence. Let's get rid of some of my influence. Where is that shit stashed? Good God, where did I stash that shit? It's under factions, world map load, which we called scene load now, and it's under. We're 0. We're the 0 people. Let's give ourselves 1. I guess 0 could have been fine. You know, that doesn't update. There is not enough influence. All right, so that's working. even though I don't know if it's the best way to do this. Oh shit! It's already 3 hours. Um, I guess this is a good stopping place. Look at how much work it seems like we did. I didn't do any. I haven't been keeping up with my GitHub thing. I should be. Let's just look at this real quick to make sure that. So it's going to check if there's enough food. I don't really like the name that being called that, but and maybe we don't want the banker to do that, but it probably we do. If there's not enough food is false, then it will do this other shit. So yeah, we'll break this down next time. And I know these are like very similar, but we'll also be able to put in like debug logs and have it do other shit. And I think that will be useful to have this stuff. I hope. Like this is dumb right here. We'll probably want to rename this to minimum AI food. You know, because minimum food doesn't mean shit to me. Okay. Build improvements. What are we doing after this? Yeah, I need to break this into smaller parts again. What does this do? If there's enough. Oh, so we have to have. This needs to be set up. Actually, we can do, well, what does this say? Enough population and. See, we're kind of like, we're writing a method in a whole other script that's just doing the same thing. But I think we want to do that, like I said, later, because we might want those other things to do. I rolled over my fucking cord. We might want these like check building costs to do other things later. And we're going to have the cost is definitely going to be different later because we're going to have it check. Do you have enough influence? Do you have enough money? Does it have enough wood and all that shit? And we could actually have it check for population right now, but maybe we'll do population its own thing. So this is going to be like a duplicate of this same exact thing right here. And so we could put this up here though. And we can put this up here. Not enough assigned workers, not enough resources panel. What is going on? There are not enough resources. This doesn't go here yet. What did we do here? All right, I don't want to get too sidetracked. I'm going to call it a night or a day. What did we do? We like tore the shit out of a bunch of stuff. We tore the shit out of a bunch of stuff. There we go. I can't remember exactly what we did, even though we did it 10 minutes ago. And we'll push this shit to GitHub. And then I am calling it a day. Karin, thank you for the follow, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.